Trying to get things set up here, guys. We'll go live here again in a minute for a little while. Let's see what we can figure out here. Get it hooked up. I got a tablet here so that I can read your comments and get back with you there. So let's see what we're doing. Here we go. Set that over there out of the way. See if we can't get this thing going here. I think that's going to work out. We'll see. Give it a minute here, see if we can get somebody in here and see who joins us here, maybe. I know one thing. It's a beautiful Friday evening here. We're still working on getting this figured out here, but we'll get it going here. Get things situated around. Things going. Get a set date. And see how it goes. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's having a good time. So, yeah. Got some upcoming builds we're going to put together. Got some things we're going to do. Get some things ready to go here in a couple months down to the Sauerkraut Festival. And I've been thinking about tossing around in my mind running up to the flea market and stuff. Let me turn this one down here so it ain't. There we go. My day's doing good, Zaylen. Good to have you here. How's your day going, buddy? All the way up there in Connecticut. Say hi to everybody for me up there. But some of the upcoming projects we're going to put together, I've got a charcuterie board that we're working on. We're going to put together. We're going to put together a gun shelf, hang on the wall, gun cabinet. We're going to do a couple things like that. Do some other things got coming up. Got some ideas in my head. Some things we're going to do. I've been thinking about doing a live inch hallway entry bench out of live edge cherry. I got that big piece of live edge cherry over there. If you remember seeing it from the past videos over at the wood pile over there at the wood stock, and so. But yeah, so we got Dumpington the third. I hope I said that right. How you doing, man? Welcome. It's good to have you here. But anyway, some upcoming projects we got going, some things we're going to do. I know one thing, I got to get this shop cleaned up. It's a mess. It don't take long, though, when you got wood chips and stuff and you're messing with this stuff. But, hey, it's part of it, you know. I mean, it's part of it. It happens. But whatever. Just take a little bit of time to clean it up and get things going and stuff. And I got a few projects that I did in the past that I'm going to show you and talk to you about here a little bit this evening, and see what everybody wants to do, see how everybody wants to chat and things we want to do. And if you got something you want me to do, hey, send me a comment. Look me up on YouTube up there and Give me a subscribe, a like, and share. And something you want to see me build, put it in the comment. We'll see if we can't figure it out, see what we got going on. So, but yeah, I enjoy doing this. Like I said last time, I think I say it all the time, but hey, I enjoy it. You don't work when you do what you love. Yeah, I still have a full-time job, yeah, but this to me in here isn't working. I love it. It's fun. It's just something that you can do. You know, I got a piece here I'm going to show you here in a minute. It's a candle holder that I built. I built it out of a piece of walnut, and I put some Purple Heart feed on it. Got a little bit of dust on it, but it ain't bad. But I like features like it's on this piece right here. See that grain pattern? Feature there. Little feed on the bottom of it there. Holds 5 of your tiki candles. Things like that. It's beautiful. This started out as a rough piece. Looks like it just come off the sawmill. And a piece of Purple Heart I put on the bottom for the 2 feet so it sets down. Things like this, man. It's just, I enjoy doing stuff like this. A lot of fun and a lot of course, it didn't take long to build that one there, but then you get into stuff like this box I got back here, if I can reach it. This box is made out of cherry and Purple Heart. Got Purple Heart inlays on the corner. Lid for the top of it. Fits down in it. Just things like that. That's cherry and Purple Heart there. I think it turned out beautiful, other than the dust on it. But, hey. It's got the inlays on the 4 corners here. It's got the guides for the lid on it there. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. Things like that, like you see in my video and my videos and stuff like that. And here's another box I built that we put together here. Eason, any upcoming project? Yes, sir. We got some projects coming up we're going to be doing. I got a gun case I'm going to be building. Got some charcuterie boards I'm going to build. I think I'm going to do a couple of cutting boards, end grain and edge grain. Difference in those, I'll go all that through the videos and stuff, different things like that. Yeah, we're going to have some projects coming up. Got some, like I said, I got a charcuterie board we're going to make. We're going to make it in the shape like a fish. Going to finish it up, I should say. It's already gone, though. My granddaughter wanted that, so I got to make my granddaughter that charcuterie board. I enjoy it. But here's the box I built out of maple. It's got a bookmark top lid on it there. This one's a little different. This one sets down over the inside pieces there, as to where this one, if you remember, had the pieces that are on the lid. It's endless. I mean, there's hundreds of things you can do. I mean, different ways you can make these boxes. I'm going to make one that's got a sliding lid that slides this way and this way. I've got one coming up that I'm going to figure out how I want to do it and the dimensions and everything. I mean, I know how I'm going to do it, but the dimensions and everything, lids are going to open from the middle out on it. Going to open up. One's going to go this way, and one's going to go up this way. Just different things. Just whatever your imagination can imagine, do it. Put it together. These boxes are a little bit more time consuming than, say, something like this that we put together that I showed you. Or I've got a few sets of these hanging around here. Get this other set back here. got a couple different sets of these around here. Like I say, we're figuring this out, so it's live. There's no editing, no cutting, and no chopping, and it's live. So, but yeah, love your woodworking. Keep it up. Thanks, Eason. I'm glad you're aboard, brother. Glad to have you, man. I do it because I love it. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But here's a set of coasters that we built out of some sassafras. This set's going with me. These boxes are going with me when I go to the Sauerkraut Festival or up to the flea market, whichever. I'm gonna try to end up doing both of them. But yeah, and here's a set I built out of sassafras as well. Set of 5 here, and that's a set of 6. This one's got its own little holster they stay in. When you get done using them, you put them back in there and hold them. These ones here are just a style that just stays laying around on your coffee table and things like that. There's a little bit more involved in building this set than this set, but hey, they're fun. My coasters, I usually end up building them 3.5 by 3.5 is what I usually end up shooting for on them. But you know, like once again, they're custom. Whatever you want to build them, 4 or 5 inches or whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, if you got any questions, hey, type it in there, shoot it at me. I'll try my best to answer it. But you know, that's what we're here for. I want to give back to you guys out there. Keep you coming up. You know, some things we got coming up. Keep them going with you. Keep you informed on stuff like that. Like I say, this is only our second live video here, but we're getting it figured out. You know, I mean, like I said before, the best experience is experience. Jump in there and do it. You know, be safe, do it, have fun. That's what it's all about. But if we get this figured out and get this stuff going, then we'll be able to, you know, have a set date and time to where we're going to try our hardest to be there each and every time. But I'm not going to promise you because, hey, life happens. Things come up. You know what I'm saying? But if I, you know, get the time set and everything, and I'm going to be there. If I can't be there, then I'll explain to you in the next one why I wasn't there. I mean, I got to give back to you guys. You guys out there, my subs, YouTube land, subscribers, all, you know, you guys out there are the greatest. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I mean, I'd be doing this anyway, but I'm doing it just to share it to you, to bring it out there to you because I enjoy doing it. And, but you guys out there make it a lot better than it is. Didn't think it could get better, but you guys proved me wrong. So hats off to you guys out there. Like I say, we're live, as you can tell. Drink of water in the video here. If we was editing, we could snip that out, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it's fun part. You get to know me a little bit better. I can get to know you guys a little bit better by talking, answering questions, sending questions in here and stuff like that. So, but just different, you know, things like that. How long a video takes? I'm not sure what you're saying there. If you want to explain it just a little bit, I'll try to answer you. I mean, some of my videos are 50 minutes long. Some of them's 15 minutes long. And then I got some shorts out there on the short side that's under a minute. Some of them 2 minutes, but it just depends. We try to keep them, you know, not too awful long. I know 50 minutes is a little bit long, but trust me, when you got something good that come out in that video that I did that one for when we built that, I believe that was when we built the key hanger, the shelf with the key hanger on it. And I think I've got that thing around here somewhere. Let me run over and grab that. That's part of the perks of being live. I'll be back. Did you miss me? I'm back. I think that 50-minute video was this one here we built. Little shelf, set your sunglasses in or wallet or whatever, put plants and stuff on top. Hang your keys up in here on this here as it sets against the wall. It's made to set flush against the wall. I think this video here, when we did this, I think that was the one that was 50 minutes long. And then I've built a couple of these here. Wine rack. 2, 4, 6 bottle wine rack. Sits flush on the wall. These are wall mounts too. I've got some wine racks that I'm going to build that are going to be set on the countertop, you know, different things like that. I enjoy doing all kinds of stuff like this. Push myself to the limits is what I do. How long does it take to create a video? It depends. Sometimes I put 2 or 3 hours or better in putting one together, even though we shorten it up because, like I say, when you're editing, you can cut out a lot of stuff, speed a lot of stuff up. Like my sanding, when I'm sitting here doing my sanding, I don't want to bore you guys with all that. Me just sitting here going back and forth with the sander, you know. We speed it up a little bit, kind of crunch it together, if you want to call it whatever. Cut some of it out. Usually, it takes 3 to 4 hours to get a 30, 40, 50-minute video. I mean, you can make them longer than that, but I don't like to go much longer. I figure an hour is getting too long. So, but yeah, that's usually it takes, you put in a lot of time. And sometimes you'll see some of my videos that are day 1 and day 2, which I think that was the key thing, video 2 there, day 1 and day 2. But it just depends on the project, to be honest with you there, how long it takes to do it. I've got some upcoming videos coming up. I'm not going to say when because I'm not sure when I'm going to do them. I'm probably going to wait till maybe this winter to do them, give you something to look forward to, kind of tease you a little bit. We're going to build a little bit of furniture. Maybe build a dresser or something. I've been wanting to build me a computer desk. I might do that one early though, but we'll see how it goes. Right now I got, you know, trying to give you guys thanks back and keep this thing going here, you know. I mean, we're learning as we go. Like I say, I work a full-time job, so evenings and the weekends is when I get to do this stuff for now until I retire. But when I retire, then I'm going to go full-time with it for a while. I told you guys before a couple videos ago or so, in a couple of my videos, that I'd build a dresser or something like that, show you guys how I do all that. The dresser I'm going to build, though, I don't think we're going to have any hardware in it other than mountain screws, other than screws. But when I say hardware, I mean I don't think I'm going to have any drawer slides or anything like that in. I'm going to build my own. I've done a couple videos, not a couple videos. I've done a dresser like that. I did an armoire like that, where there's no drawer sliders at all. It's just wood on wood, and I'll show you how that stuff goes. And I tell you what now, and I'll be honest with you, if you do it and do it right, them drawers will slide just if they were on a set of slides that you go up to the big box store and buy. I'm not kidding you. We'll get into it later on. That's going to be a project later on this winter or something. We do that, build some dressers or maybe another armoire or something. I don't know, because they both sell real good. They both sell real good. I just ain't got time. I just ain't got time to put one together. In fact, when I put one of them together, it's probably going to be 1, 2, maybe. I'm going to try to keep it 2 videos, but you're looking at 8 to 12 hours constantly staying on one of them to get it built, and that's pushing it. That's hustling, and I don't want to hustle. I want to take my time and do it. And I want to do it right. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. It's not something that when I build anything, it's not something that I just build into just to hurry up and get done. Nah, I enjoy it. I like watching it come together. That's what makes it the best. How much does your projects cost? Easton asked. Well, it varies. Like at, let's see, what was that? A 6 drawer? No, it was 5 big drawers and 2 little drawers at the top. I sold that dresser for, if I remember right, it was 900-ish, something like that. The armoire and stuff like that, they're usually depending upon the wood that the customer wants, the brand that the customer wants, whether they, they want a hardwood or if they want something that's not going to have a lot of traffic and stuff on it, they can get by with a softer wood. It just depends on the project. I mean, the armoire, I think I got 6 or 650 out of it, something like that. I don't know. It's just there's a lot goes into it. Depends on the size, how many drawers, the top, the back. Just the wood's the big factor. I mean, some of that wood you get into and you go to buy that stuff, this sawmill stuff like the hardwoods, like your oak and cherry and some walnut, and then of course maple. And now I'm not talking, African woods and stuff like that, but some of that stuff gets pretty pricey. I mean, you're looking at, for instance, what the sawmill calls them, 4x4, which is, rough cut 4 sides, say inch and a half thick, 8 foot long. You're looking at anywhere from 30 to upwards of 60, 70. Some of them's $80 a board. It just depends, I mean, but I try to, usually when I put something like that or get like that gun cabinet I got coming up, I think I got a gentleman, but I'm gonna go ahead and build one anyway because I can sell them. They do sell. But I got a gentleman that talked to me about one there the other day that I think is gonna be interested in one. He wants his built and he wants it light or natural, like this wine rack that I built. That's what they call natural, no stain. This is when you stain or dye the wood. That's, but he wants his natural. I can probably, and he said build it out of pine, which is fine. It'll work. I mean, pine will work. It's a soft wood, but you wouldn't want to build a tabletop or nothing out of pine. But that gun rack for him will work out of pine because it's not going to have a lot of traffic. It's going to hold guns. He's going to want a drawer in the bottom of it. But I could probably get that one done for $250, $300, something like that. It just varies. Now, if I was building it out of oak or something like that, it'd be a little bit more on the pricey side. But I hate to do it that way. But hey, I got to. I mean, it's just whatever they want out there. I try to shoot them 3 different estimates to get, give them something they want to go with. I mean, I know things are tight, money's tight right now, but I'll give them an estimate of good, better, and best, if you know what I mean. I'll go into the video and explain that one day. Sarah, how are you doing? Good to have you here. That's part about being live. I can drink water. I can do what I want. But we're going to keep doing this. It's going to eventually grow. I mean, it's going to eventually grow and get up there and get, where we're going to have 50, 60 people in here. It's fine. It just takes time, I mean, like I said in my last one, join in. You want to ask questions? Ask questions. I'll try my best to answer them. If I don't answer them the way you want, kind of maybe give it a little bit more in depth what you're asking, because I'm my elevator don't go clear to the top sometimes, if you know what I mean. But no, I'm just kidding. And jump in here and laugh at me. I don't care. It doesn't bother me a bit. I laugh at myself. Y'all see some of these videos, I put them together. I get them put together and start editing them out. I just laugh so hard at myself. I got to step back and stop for a minute because I'm laughing at this idiot right here. I mean, if I can make you laugh too, hey, thumbs up. That's the way I like to do it. I like to have fun, have a good time, come out with things like that, things that are beautiful. I've got some cherry, some walnut, sassafras. These are some little herb strippers that I made. This one's cherry here. That one's beautiful. But, it don't take long to make these. What takes the longest is drilling the holes. But, just different kind of things. I don't know. One thing I've never really messed with and I would like to, when I get my shop built out front here, I'd like to maybe at least try one. But it's one of them things that you either hate it or you love it. And after I say it, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I mean. A river table. I've talked to people that just absolutely love them. I've talked to people that hate them. I'm not talking people that buy them, because that's a mixed group too. People that buy them and want them, they love them and hate them too. But people that build them, there's some people that just absolutely love them. That's all they do. There's others that hate it. But I'm gonna try it. Hey, what's the worst can happen? End up with a pile of wood for the campfire back here or something by the pond. Hey, like I said earlier, experience is the best experience. That's how you learn. That's how you do it. And like my tools, and I'm just ranting. If you guys want to go in a different way, just, shoot something in and say, hey, what about this or whatever. But like my tools, all of my tools that I've got here, the only thing I bought was two things. I bought a new DeWalt planer, 13 and a half inch, I believe it is. And I bought a lathe. Oh, three. I'm sorry, three. I bought my chop saw too, and the chop saw. I bought my Cobart chop saw, and my lathe, and the planer. The rest of this stuff I've been around all my life, since I was a teenager. My table saw, I cut wood on that one. Dad had it down in his little shop. The drill press, that was Dad's down in the little shop. My radio arm saw sitting back here in the corner that I use from time to time. See if I can turn you around there where you can see it. Well, it's got wood sitting on it and leaned up against it, but that was my dad's. My Ryobi scroll saw, that come from my dad's. My spindle sander, my belt sander, and I got a little bandsaw back there, but I'm about to get me a bigger bandsaw for some of the stuff I do, because I want to get into buying this lumber 3 and 4 inches thick and then cutting it, ripping it down on a bandsaw. It's fun. I mean, you save money that way. The more money I can save, pass on to you guys, that's the way I like to do it. I mean, I'm not out here looking to get rich off of this, by no means. I just want to share. Excuse me. I just want to share a dying art, if I may say. There's a lot of people that doesn't do a lot of the stuff the way I used to do it. What's the most interesting tool you have, and how did you get it? Wow. Well, my favorite tool that I have, and that I've always loved, even when Dad had it when I was a kid, is the radio arm saw. And I got it from my dad. My dad gave me all this stuff. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have near the things I have now. So I know my dad watches my channel, so I'm going to give a shout out and I love you to my dad. I thank you, Dad, for all you've done for me. He's the one that started all this. He's the one that got me into doing this stuff, loving this stuff. Back when I was a kid, my first job was working with wood, but it was on the other end of it. It was working on a sawmill, off bearing a sawmill. If anybody out there has ever done that, you know the work that comes involved in that. I grabbed a little tool off of my French cleats back there where I hang most of my tools up on. We're going to do all that too when I get to the building. We're going to put French cleats on the wall and hang all my stuff up. But this little tool right here, this goes back farther, what I'm about to show you. This goes back further than my dad. This goes back to his dad, my grandpa. It's a draw knife. I've got to do some work to it, get it straightened back up and get it cleaned back up. If you know what a draw knife is, if you don't, this is a draw knife. That's what you call a draw knife. And what you do is you put it on a piece of, I ain't going to do it, but I'll demonstrate a little bit here. You got a piece of wood here. Of course, you're going to have it in a clamp or something. And you lay it down and you draw it. And it cuts as it draws. See if I can get it down here. I'll show you a little bit here. It's going to get bumpy. So you'll put your piece of wood down there. Of course, you'll have it clamped in a vise. And you just pull with it. And it draws and it cuts the wood as it goes. That's a lot of work too in that one, trust me, believe me. But it's things like this that I like, that I enjoy. I don't work with them as much as I want to, or as much as I like to, I should say. Yeah, I'm a hillbilly. Because of the projects I do, you know, I do try to set time limits on get them out and stuff, but I love working with stuff like this. And hopefully one day, a lot of this older stuff that I have, I can work with and do some videos with them. Get this stuff out there. But for now, I've got it. One of my projects is going to be to clean it up and get it fixed up. And I'm going to fix put some new handles on it, get it all sharpened up and straightened up, get it shiny. And it'll cut like a razor blade when you're done with it. Just things like that. I got another old time piece I want to show you here. My favorite wood to work with, as far as all around, my favorite would have to be probably, I like working with cherry, don't get me wrong. I like working with cherry and I like working with maple. I would have to say those two are pretty tied to the top. Walnuts right in there too. But the bad thing about your cherries and your maple, they burn easy with the blades as you're cutting. If the blade aren't, I mean, you can sand it out, yeah, but if the blade isn't real good and sharp, it's going to burn. It's going to burn the wood a little bit. But my favorite, I would have to say, out of those three, would be probably curly maple. Because that stuff just turns out, I mean, beautiful. Especially if you get one that's got some real wild curls and stuff in it. That works out real good. I'd have to say probably maple species. That would probably be my favorite. But I want to show you this old tool here just a little bit. This one's old. This one goes back to my grandpa, maybe further. I think his dad had this one. And this is how old this one is. It's got a wooden screw. It goes in here like this. This one I'm undecided whether I'm going to fix it. I'm going to clean it up, yeah. But whether I'm actually going to fix it up and use it as much, I doubt it. I may use it some, but in the end of this here, if you can see that little marker there. It's a marker. This is adjustable, so you can adjust it to whatever size you want. And let's see if it'll mark on this piece here. Like I say, that marker needs to be fixed. It's a little rough. Let's see if it'll make a mark on this piece of poplar here. But anyway, today they still use these. They've got these that have got 2 and 3 different settings on them as far as blades. They got them that make just one. But you put it on here like after you get it marked out. Just draw it across there. About like a pencil. It ain't a very straight mark because I was moving around a little bit, but I don't know if you can see the mark. There it is. That's your mark. Just like using a pencil, except you just use that. That's back in the old school there, right there. I forget what kind of wood this is it's made out of. I will figure it out and let you know. But just to give you an instance of how much this has been used. No, this is not broke. It's not chipped. That's how much. See that right there? Get it in there. It's supposed to be like this. That's how much that piece had been used. That's how many marks that piece is cut on boards, that they would mark the board, and then they would go back after marking the board. And cut it with one of these cats. You got different ones. You got this one here is a more of a rip saw versus a crosscut. That was, you know, a lot of this old stuff like this here that I've got hanging up. I use them from time to time, once in a while, but mainly I just got them because sentimental. I'm gonna use them, yeah, sure, but I'm gonna clean them up and I'm gonna have them out in the shop. My shop's gonna look real nice when I get it done. I got a lot of stuff I wanna hang up, a lot of stuff I wanna just show for show pieces. That was back in the day when they didn't have battery operated saws or a saw you could plug in and squeeze the trigger. That was back in the day when you, yeah, back in them days. This is my dovetail saw for cutting dovetails. I've got the teeth set and everything to set these with. A lot of the old timers out there know what I'm talking about, but the teeth sets to set the teeth on them so I can sharpen them, set them back. But if I'd have to pick a favorite handsaw that I have that I love to use more than any of them, it'd be this one right here, this pull saw. It's a rip cut on one side and a cross cut on the other, and it's real. Yeah, you can cut flush cut with it and everything, but just things like that, you know what I'm saying? Drop me a comment or something. Let me know your woodworkers and stuff out there, or whatever you're into. What's your favorite tools you use? Your favorite things you like to do? But I like to do it. Table saw tips. Keep your fingers out of it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, table saw tips. Yeah. To be honest with you, that's probably, the table saw is probably the most dangerous saw that most woodworkers or most people use. Would be the table saw. Because the table saw has got what they call kickback, can kick back, can throw a piece back. Got a hole in the garage door. Well, not clear through, but there's a hole in the garage door where it threw a piece out of there and actually stuck in the garage door. In fact, it hit my arm right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it hit my arm before it hit the garage door. Yeah, I try to get out of the way of it, leave a space so the piece can go through here if it comes out. But that, and another thing I want to tell you too on the table saw safety tips. I try to throw pro tips and stuff in when I'm using a piece of equipment. I probably need to do more, but your table saw, if you're cutting this, say you're going to cut this, rip that off on that board right there. You're going to rip this piece right here off on the table saw. What I'll do is I'll put this piece up against my blade, and I'll bring my blade through. I don't know if you can see my pencil. That's acting as my blade. My pencil to where it just barely sticks above the top. That's all you need. You don't need much more than that right there. Just barely stick across the top. One reason for that is it cuts down on kickback. It doesn't cut it clear out. A pinch guide would help cut that out too, but my saw's so old I don't have a pinch guide on it. But to have that blade sticking up just barely above the wood if something does happen, like if the saw were to grab this piece and kick it back or jerk it forward and take you with it, you're only going to get cut. You ain't going to lose digits. You know, you ain't going to lose digits. You may get cut, may have to have stitches, but you ain't going to lose digits. But yeah, that is probably the most dangerous tool that any and all woodworkers would have. That, and then I'd say have to probably say the next most dangerous one would be probably the radio arm saw. And the radio arm saw, the reason the radio arm saw is so dangerous is because as the table saw is spinning, you're pushing into the wood. Well, on the radio arm, when you're pulling the blade out, it's going the opposite direction as it's cutting. So it wants to, so you got to watch it. And not only that, you can do 45. I can take my blade and set it at 45, cut 45, or 90. I can cut 45s with it. I can even turn the head of the saw over and turn it around and rip with it. But I can only rip 4.5 inches with it. So, but I don't need to do that because I use my table saw to do stuff like that till I get my bandsaw. Chisels. Yeah, I like working with chisels. I love working with chisels. I got a couple shorts out there with chisels, but all my chisels right now need to be sharpened. Yeah, I need to get them sharpened. I hate sharpening chisels. I hate it. But hey, it's part of it, you know. I mean, I shouldn't say I hate it. It's just kind of time consuming. But which you can't see it on the video here, but I may do a small video how I sharpen my chisels. But when you buy a chisel, most of them come with a 25-degree bevel here. I don't know if you can see there it is. 25-degree bevel. Yeah, that is still a little sharp. Not sharp enough, but it's sharp enough to cut you. 25-degree bevel. What I like to do with my chisels is right when I get them, of course I don't, I probably should, but the first time I sharpen them after I get them is all, I don't know if you can see that or not, but see how dull, see that little dark spot right there in the chisel? Well, get it in there. There you go. How it's dark, shiny, and then the dark. I like to take and set this on a 25, get that all smoothed up. And then once I get that all smoothed up, right down here on the very, very tip, across the very tip, maybe a 16th. Heavy 8th. 1/8 is too heavy. I like to set it and put a 30-degree on it for better cutting. I'll explain all that when I do the video. And then once you sharpen it, after you get the front all sharpened, you got to turn it over to the back because you'll have a burr come up on here from your stones and stuff from sharpening it. You'll just lay it down flat and just a couple times on the stone, knock that burr off, and you'll be able to hold a piece of paper up and just set it and let the weight of the chisel cut the paper. They can get sharp. They get pretty sharp. I mean, about as sharp as a razor or maybe even sharper. But here's something I want to get into later on. I got another one hanging up back there over my right shoulder. But I want to start spraying my finishes and stuff on, which I'll eventually do that, get to it. But I'm just going to kind of wait until I get my shop built and I got more room to get things laid out where I want them, stuff like that. But yeah, I want to do stuff like that. So I like doing stuff like that. And get things all set up, get it going, get my dust collecting system put in. Right now I'm just using a Cyclone and a vacuum cleaner that I've got hooked up, which works. But you got to roll it around when you go from tool to tool. I'm not going to do all that in the new shop. I'm going to have pipes all drop down to each tool and stuff. But tips and tricks video for woodworking. Tips and tricks. Yeah, you can come up. There's some tips and tricks you can do that. Like for instance, that last video I did. It's get. We're gonna get ready to get out of here in a minute. But let me answer this for Eason here. That last video I did where I cut the key holder / shelf. When I cut them 4 inches. If you try to put, for instance, when you go to the planer, try to put a 4-inch one in there, it's a little tougher. So if you can leave them a little longer to run it through and then cut it down later when you got it all worked up, that's a good little tip and trick for not only time but safety wise, because that little piece can catch and kick back out there, and that's thank goodness, knock on wood, I haven't had a planer kick a piece of wood at me yet. But that's why I always stay to the side and feed them in. If you ever watch the videos, I'm feeding it in from the side, and I'm standing over here off to the side of it because yeah, that's nasty when that planer comes out of there, when it kicks out of there. But that'd be a good little trick to do. I don't do a lot of it, but I'm going to start doing a lot of them, especially because I want the patterns. Making jigs and patterns for your stuff. Build one, and I know this. Holler at me if you want. I should preach it to myself, but build one and build your pattern as you're building one. And then the next time you go to build one, go to your pattern wall. There's your pattern. That saved you a lot of time. Patterns are good. I don't do a lot of patterns because I've done a lot of this so much, but I need to because it saved me time in the future, which I'm going to start making patterns for stuff. In fact, that little thin boards that I've got around here, little 1/8-inch board, or not 1/8-inch, 3/16 boards and stuff. That's what I'm going to use to make my patterns out of, things like that. But yeah, tips and tricks like that is things to makes it a little quicker. Safety though, safety is your best. Safety is probably the most important. That's why I say, anything I do, you try to do it at your own risk, but have fun, be safe about it. Slow down, take your time, pay attention to what you're doing, and take care of yourself. That would probably be the best tip I could give you for woodworking. Think it through before you do it. Comrade, welcome. How you doing, buddy? Bearded Viking. Hey, guy, how you doing, man? We're getting into this. This is my second one. I got a long way to go to catch up with you, Mr. Viking, but hey, it's fun, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about. Nice to have you guys in here. I'm going to try to get, like I say, I'm going to try to get this set up to where that I'm not doing it on a night where, for instance, Bearded Viking's doing it or somebody else that I know is doing it. But I'll get it all set up, get it all figured out. We were just talking about some of the stuff I did, some of the tools, some of the old antique tools that we had that I've been going over. Things like that I've been showing these guys, some of my old saws, a little bit of my equipment and stuff, just things like that. I like working with the older hand tools and stuff a lot. And then I had a question on what would be the most dangerous tool in my workshop that I thought would be. And I picked the table saw because there's a lot of injuries and stuff with the table saw if you're not careful with them, because that, and then of course a radio arm saw, it can get dangerous too. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be the table saw. Pro tips and safety tips. They've been asking me a little bit of things about things like that. But yeah, shop tour. Yeah. My shop's a mess right now, brother. I'm telling you, it's a mess right now. I'm bad about cleaning up. I usually go 2 or 3 projects before I clean up, but This is temporarily. This is temporary. I'm working on building a new shop out front there. Going to set it all up with lay it out the way I want it. Dust collecting system is going to be different in it because the only thing I got in here that I use right now, and here's dust collecting, is a shop vac and a cyclone that I put together, which works, but you got to move it from tool to tool. But yeah, my new shop's going to be set up and laid out a little different, things like that. But I will tell you though, and table saw for sure. Yeah, I agree with you there on that. And the mess. Guys, those of you that are out there that doesn't know, the Bearded Viking Woodworking. That guy's awesome. You guys need to go check him out. I said it before. I gave him a shout out before. I hope you don't care that I do it now, but you guys need to check him out. If you see him down there in the comments, say hey to him, shout to him, watch his videos, subscribe to him. That guy's awesome, man. He's I come across a question or something, I send it to him, he answers it. I show him some of my projects, he answers it. A lot of these guys out there that do this, I'm one of them that's not going to do it, and Bearded Viking don't do it either. We don't ignore you guys out there. You guys out there are why we do this. It's a dying art. It's slowly going away, but you send me a question or a comment, I'm going to do my best to answer it for you. Try my best. And Bearded Viking's the same way, man. He'll shout at you. He'll answer your questions for you. He'll help you out in any way, just like, I will too. Just holler at me. Let me know. But go give him a shout out. Say hi to Comrade on there because he's one of the Bearded Viking community guys. They got a good community going there. Yeah. But some of the future projects we got coming up, stuff we went over, things like that. But hey, we do it for you guys out there. Give back to you guys for, supporting us here, helping us. But yeah, I got a couple events coming up this year we're going to be getting ready for and stuff like that. Things like that I got coming up. I'm going to do some flea marketing. I'm going to do I'm from the southern part of Ohio down here. We got what we call the Sauerkraut Festival. It's a 3-day weekend festival. And I'm not kidding you guys. That place has anywhere from 30 to 60,000 people go through there in a weekend. And you can only get in there by an invite. And I got my invite. Gentleman that his wife is the secretary of it came up to me one day at work, because I work a full-time job like most of you guys out there, and said, hey, Rob, we've seen your stuff. It's beautiful. You want to bring it up here? I said, sure, I'll bring it up there. When, why, how, where, what, So we're hatching all that out, and we got it all going. Yeah, right on. Hey, I build this stuff because I love to do it. My wife usually wants one of everything I build, so usually I either got to hide it or build two. I hope she ain't watching, but usually I got to hide it or build two. But yeah. But anyway, I got to get rid of it. I can't keep it all. I got a gun rack I'm getting ready to build for a gentleman coming up. We're gonna do that. He wants a they call it, I'm not sure the proper name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, it's a magnetic key that you hide, that you slide over in a certain place, and then the drawer pops open. All that happy stuff. But yeah, that's going to be fun. I like doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, we see you, Daniel. Comrade, we're getting ready to get out of here too. You guys come in at the tail end of it. I had to give you guys a shout. You know what I'm saying? When other people like that get together and support each other, it lifts us all up. Our spirits all up. We're all in this together. It's just a bunch of fun. You guys out there that watch us and support us and subscribe to us, you're part of it too. You're our community too. Our family, as Bearded Viking calls you guys out there. But yeah. Forgive me for that. That's why I say it's live. You know, we can't cut this stuff out. We can't shorten it up or skip over it or fade in and out, stuff like this. Is live. This is us being real for you guys out there. Hey, I love you guys. I'm going to try to hit maybe next Saturday or Sunday night, so watch out for me out there. If you got time, join me. Like I say, you want to come in and ask questions, I'll try my best to answer them for you. You want to come in and laugh at me? Go ahead, because I laugh at myself too. You know, I mean, I laugh at myself too. I do some stuff myself, but I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. Catch y'all next time. Have a good one. Good night, y'all.